Runnymede Board of Education meeting is called to order. The Board of Education is in compliance with Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975 entitled the Open Public Meetings Act. The time, date, and location of this meeting was appropriately advertised by notifying in retrospect as well as posting notices in the Borough Hall, Runnymede Post Office, Maryville School, Align Bingham School, Grace County School, and the Runnymede Public School District website. Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll call, board members.
Ms. Adair? Ms. Anderson?
She's running late.
Ms. Beebe?
Here.
Mr. Buckon?
Here.
Ms. Davidson?
Here.
Ms. Farry?
Here.
Mr. Pagliazzo? Ms. Panzarella?
Here.
Ms. Spalding?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Also present, Mark Iannucci, Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Sean McCarron, Business Administrator, Supervisor of Curriculum Instruction, Mrs. Jade Yezzi, Principal, Brigham Downing School, Mr. Steve Healy, Principal, Maryville School, Mr. Phil Silva, Vice Principal, Maryville School, Mrs. Gladys Hubbard, Child Study Team Supervisor, Mr. Frank Hine, Supervisor of Building and Grounds. At this time, I need a motion to approve the regular board meeting minutes for March 21st.
I make a motion to approve the regular board meeting minutes from March 20th.
First.
Second.
Motion made by Maria, seconded by Chaz. Any questions? Roll call.
Ms. Beebe?
Yes.
Mr. Buckon?
Yes.
Ms. Davidson?
Yes.
Ms. Farry?
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella?
Yes.
Ms. Spalding?
Yes. We good?
We're good.
I need a motion to approve the financial report period ending March 31st, 2017.
Okay.
Motion made by Amy, seconded by Maria. Any questions? Roll call.
Ms. Beebe? Mr. Buckon?
Yes.
Ms. Davidson?
Yes.
Ms. Farry?
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella?
Yes.
Ms. Spalding?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. So, we're going to go ahead and start our presentations because the teachers told me that they're usually in bed by 9 o'clock. They didn't want to wait too long. Not the students, the teachers. The teachers said they'd be in bed by 9 o'clock. That's later than Mr. Iannucci. He's usually in bed by 8:30. So, Mr. Iannucci, you want to introduce?
Yes, Ms. Ambrose is going to present some of her students today. And she's going to introduce some of her staff members as well that help out in the classroom.
All right, so we made you guys a little treat. We made you cake pops today with the help of Mrs. Ketchup. The kids actually made them themselves. So Kylie and Danny are going to pass them out for you guys. Okay. So again, I teach 4th and 5th grade, and I have. Guys, wait over here. This side. Oh, move the table. So again, I'm Miss Ambrose. I teach 4th and 5th grade. I have Mrs. Wallen, I have Mrs. Preston over there who helps me out, and Miss Putnick, and then my student teacher, Miss Killian. We just wanted to come tonight to show you a little slideshow we put together of different pictures that everything we've done this year. So we've been taking different trips. We call them CBI trips or community-based instruction trips. So we went to Marino's, the post office, Five Below for Christmas. We bought each other gifts. We went to Target, which was my favorite. We also started the school store, which we're selling pencils, water bottles to use those new water fountains that you guys bought for us. And the kids really love it. They get to work with money and really tie those things in that they learn into the classroom into the real world. And we also started Breakfast Club, but we're still waiting for Dr. McCarron to buy his first bagel. But he promises that he will buy one from us. So the kids actually, they're navigating the school. They're using real money again to purchase those bagels the staff members purchase the bagels for the kids to kind of run our trips, and that's how we get that money for the trips. So Dan, do you want to push play? So here's a little quick, and I promise this quick, slideshow of some of the things we've done this year. very beneficial for our class. And Danny has a little short video that he made that he wanted to show you guys. It's 30 seconds.
Okay.
You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension. A dimension of sound. A dimension of sight. A dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You've just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
Bikini Bottom, 1939. Amid the glitz and the glitter of a bustling young movie town of the height of its golden age, the Crusty Tower Hotel was a star in its own right. A beacon for the show business elite. Now, something is about to happen that will change all of that. The time is now, on an evening very much like the one we've just witnessed. Tonight's story of the Twilight Zone is somewhat unique, calls for a different kind of introduction. This is you may recognize as a maintenance service elevator, still in operation and waiting for you. We invite you to dare to step forward because in tonight's episode, you are the star. And this elevator travels directly to the Twilight Zone.
All right.
Thank you guys.
Sure.
No, Daniel, picture to
Get a quick picture. You did such a great job. Okay. Got it. Yeah.
Thank you again.
We have some staff members from Bingham and Downing to present some of their science fair projects. And we're going to use these tables up here, correct? So we're just going to move this back a little bit. So everybody can see it. Ms. Majewski, Ms. Dutkin, Ms. Michelle, who else am I missing? That's it? So I can see. You can use the other tables over here. You can use whatever tables you want.
No, they're fine. Yeah, well, I'll move our Johnson and then this one.
Ms. Majewski, Ms. Dutkin, I'm not sure who wants to start, but
Yeah. So I'm Ms. Majewski. I teach first grade at Bingham.
I'm Mrs. Dutton, I teach second grade at Bingham.
And I'm Mrs. Michelle, and I teach second at Downing.
And this was our first ever science fair that we decided to do. The second and third graders were doing the science club this year. So we thought it'd be a fun idea to try something new and incorporate that and do a science fair for the second and third graders.
It went along with our month of being green, so all the students were able to pick something that had to do with being green, and they did a fantastic job with it. Do you want to start with?
We can start over here. So Alex Cox, he did a water-based project. You want to tell them a little bit about it?
So basically, it filters dirty water if you put the dirty water in the top, and then it goes through rock, sand, and charcoal, and then it comes out.
Very cool. The kids loved it. He doesn't have the water right now, but it actually really worked.
very nice.
Very good.
This is my project called Grow Green. I made a greenhouse and planted seeds in it and then planted seeds outside. The seeds outside didn't really do anything much, and something got to our seeds outside. But the greenhouse was way better because it was safe and it just kept growing. What happened when we pollute that water? It will spread together our world. We protect water into egg cartons. Each of us put our polluting in one cup of egg carton. We pollute water into each lake or lake. We watched what happened and where polluting went. The polluting spreads everywhere. It makes our water yucky to drink and gross to look at. It can make animals sick and even kill them. It gets in the ground and hurts the food that grows. It gets in the ground and hurts the trees that give us oxygen. Hi, my name is Maya Reyes, and I'm in Mrs. Duncan and Mrs. Terrer's second grade class. My science experiment was to use less paper to save the trees and save the planet. I played with the font size of a big report and found that when you make the font size smaller but still can read it, there will be less pages to print. I didn't really print the report, but just reviewed the numbers of pages with the print review. Another way you can use less paper is to save the trees is to set up your printer to save both sides. This way you can use half the paper. So we made a solar and the chocolate melted. Well, so the sun reflects off here, bounces onto there, and it melts the marshmallow and chocolate. And then chocolate melted after 1 hour, and the marshmallow melted after an hour and a half.
That's all of them.
Thank you.
Can you guys step in for a picture? Good job.
They're just waiting, it's an FDA.
All right, well, at this time, we'll move into our budget presentation now, so we can get started.
Where do you buy the new one at?
Watch it or the cake pop?
I think we're talking about the budget.
You
I
know
think
why
that's-
I'm Washington
Hi, everyone. Hi. So this evening, we're going to go over the budget, which is why everyone's here tonight. Last month, I informed you of what was getting, you approved what was getting submitted to the county office. Since then, it was approved by the county school business administrator. It was approved by the county superintendent as being a budget that made sense. All I's were dotted, T's were crossed, and we were given the okay to move forward with our public hearing. So now tonight is the formal public hearing where I will present the budget, and then once we go into the meeting, the board will vote under finance for the approval of the 17-18 budget for next school year. Budget development timeline I went over, it starts in October, leads us up to where we are today, which is the public hearing that we have this evening. Through that time, we're looking at data, we're looking at all different pieces of information in order of what we want to do to drive the budget. A big part of what drives our budget is our school, district, and board goals, to make sure that we're meeting each of those pieces along the way, and that we're also trying to find ways to bring revenue into the district. When you look at the way in which money's coming from the state, we are not getting increases in state funding anymore. And when you look at increases in contract costs and what we have within the district, it's important to find other ways in which we can bring revenues in. This year, you're going to see that we brought revenues into the district, both through our before and after care program, and also we brought revenues in through food service. That will be supporting the budget also. Considerations in the budget: school and district goals, community support and feedback, enrollment, anticipated revenue coming in, money in, mandated regulations or anything that's changing, and any upcoming costs or needs. Revenues. So in 16-17, our revenues were $7,035,809, brought in by the local tax levy. The tax levy for this year is remaining at a 2% cap, which means that we do not need to go out for public vote on the budget. The difference that we'll receive in tax levy for 17-18 will be a total of $140,716. So the money we will receive from Runnymede taxes will be $7,176,525. When you look at total revenue, so that's money that was brought in not just from taxes, but also from the state. Last year's budget was $13,571,886. This year's budget will be $14,206,629. Looking at that number and seeing it's a $600,000 difference, it's important to say that $355,000 of that money that we're bringing in next year is coming from our reserve accounts. In prior years, I've told you that we haven't been able to spend that reserve money because of the ROD grants that we had, and so we had to pay vendors at that time. Now that we've received money back from the state, we're actually able to pull money that we've put away into reserves to do the projects that we need to do across our buildings. $145,000 is coming from maintenance reserves. That money can only be used on maintenance updates. It can't be used on new things. That's where capital reserve money comes from. So maintenance can help us refurbish or redo things throughout the district and kind of make those upgrades that are needed. $150,000 is coming from food service and before and after care. So what happens is when we get money, food service and before and after care are run like businesses. So if I have money that comes in from the food service account, it can only be used on food service. Meaning upgrades to the cafeteria, upgrades to our systems that we have, upgrades to any materials that we use for food service. The same thing is true for before and after care. So when we have the auditors come in, I need to show where I'm taking that $100,000 and what it's going towards. So the $100,000 I'm taking is going towards HVAC updates that we're doing in the cafeteria. So since we're doing HVAC updates in the cafeteria, it falls under food service and I'm allowed to do that. The $50,000 for before and after care, majority of that is going to playground upgrades at Bingham and Downey. So since it's before and after care, it has to be used for things that we're doing for before and after care. So any playground upgrades would fall under that category. Questions on revenues? Local tax levy. Anticipated tax levy from 17-18 budget. As I said, $7,176,525. That's $1.43 per $100 of assessed home value. That's a $24 increase in taxes per $100,000 of assessed valuation. In 16-17, it was a $28 increase in taxes per $100,000. Example, the average home in Runnymede is $147,000, which means in elementary school tax, the homeowner would pay $2,105, $35.88. On that range home, that would be a $35.35 average increase in elementary school tax. The year prior, it was a $41 increase in school tax. What's in this budget? In this budget, we're maintaining all of our positions and initiatives that we currently have in place. We have increased technology throughout all grade levels of the district, updates to school facilities with HVAC, carpet removals, security upgrades, and electronic signs outside and also in the gymnasium. Playground at Downing will be added. Upgrades to the Bingham playground will be done as well. We're going to purchase a school van to transport out-of-district displaced students and possibly routes from other districts. That's something that we weren't doing this year because the need wasn't there at the beginning of the year. There was interest from other schools, but we decided to take care of all of our runs first before we did that. Maintain and support advancements to the educational and extracurricular programs within the district. Focus on summer programming, which is in the works as we speak, and information has gone out. 13 to present, just to show what we're doing in each area. Under personnel, you can see the things that we have done. What we're looking to do is highlighted. So we're looking to move to a 12-month vice principal position. We're looking at adding a behavioral consultant position within the district as well. Under food service, we're looking at increasing our food service. In speaking, what we have to do is just simply move to an extended school year, which means that we're actually able to provide free and reduced meals to any students who come into our summer program as well. And that would be for both breakfast and lunch. In technology, we have updated and new technologies budgeted. So we've been using a lot of different technologies as far as recordings, looking at possibly doing a news studio where students can record the news for the day that would go out. We're looking for new technologies that we could bring in, and also bringing in Chromebooks for the new grade level that will be taking them home. Under maintenance and facilities, we have sheds that we're replacing, playground updates and new playgrounds, flooring, HVAC, electronic marquees, and security. Before and after care, we're offering summer opportunities this year. Transportation, looking to purchase a school van. And then also under curriculum, new updated resources for science, social studies, ELA. Also, as I've mentioned before, we've gone from Common Core standards in both language arts and math to New Jersey State Learning Standards, which is just code changes and a little bit of wording changes. The standards have pretty much stayed the same. So I just need to revise that for each of the curriculum guides this year. Questions? No questions? Okay. Fantastic. So then we will be voting on that in the regular meeting.
Now, all of the upgrades, and I apologize if you said this when I was writing some things on my agenda, all of the updates will be done this summer?
Once this is approved, what we'll then start doing is we'll start getting, we've already gotten some quotes, what we'll start doing is we'll actually set down who's going to be doing what jobs and how they're going to be doing it, whether or not they're under state contract, and the goal is to get them done this summer. The issue that we always face though is the fact that every school district is getting quotes and looking to have all work done this summer. So we're going to try to move as quickly as possible. I know I'll be Frank's best friend in the upcoming days as far as getting that information together and making sure that we get all the information that we need.
We can
But
build a
that's the
playground
goal,
if that's
yes.
what you need. Like, we can do that together
Community playground, it's fantastic. We could do that.
at Dowling.
It's about 100 years or to do, but anyway, thank you.
It is.
Remember, I'm a Downing girl.
That's why I said we can build the playground together at Dowling.
If you build it, they will come.
Hey. Hey, I have help, I have a 2-year-old.
All right, what's next?
Okay, so now we're going to go.
Thank you, Dr. McCarron. I should
That's
say
all.
thank you.
We're gonna go back to the regular agenda where
Okay.
we left off with correspondence.
Okay,
And then, we'll go from there.
we'll go from there. Okay. Well, under
Because we just did
correspondence.
presentations, so we're gonna go right under presentations, right? Yeah,
Okay.
so we'll just
Correspondence.
take off with where we left.
Okay, great. Well, under correspondence, Mr. Buckheim has a few things for us. He sent out a nice letter, politically
Begging
correct letter begging Mr. Michael Bloomberg to give us the 48 million to build the new school, so hopefully that correspondence is answered.
Absolutely.
We can get that done. You know what? You never know, so thank you for always thinking ahead.
Well, just as a sign up to that, he was on 60 Minutes Sunday. He's worth $47 billion, and he said, I told my children I'm giving the vast majority of it away through philanthropic projects. So I said, hey, nothing tried, nothing gained. So I sat down and composed a letter Sunday, right after the show, put it in the mail Monday to consider. And I promised him if he gave us some money, we would name the school after him.
He promised the naming of the school though, so I mean.
Whatever works.
Your vote does not matter here.
Thank you for your space.
We're getting a new school, you call
He's got $47 billion he wants to get rid of.
And is that what you say? He wants to get rid of it.
Thank you for your fast forward thinking. In other news, I received this afternoon after going back and forth with Joe Impagliazzo, excuse me, he formally resigned, so I just want to read to you real quick what he sent me this afternoon. He said, Samantha, I regret to inform you that I need to resign immediately from the board. This was not my intention, as I am a proud alum of this district, and my children attend our fabulous schools. However, my work obligations make it impossible for me to be an effective member. I have enjoyed my time on the board, and thank you for the opportunity to serve the community. Best wishes, Joe Impagliazzo. So just so you guys know, I'm going to add this under policy and public relations as number 6, to accept the resignation of Board of Education member Joseph Impagliazzo and ask Dr. McCarron to please post for an open board seat. So if you know any members of the community who want to apply and would be able to give 100%, please send them Dr. McCarron's way.
Is it an interview process this time, or is it just an appointment?
What will happen is that the person will submit their letter of interest. The board will hear from each candidate,
Yes.
and then someone will be appointed to fill the term of the position for that.
Which is up this year, right?
So I'm gonna look it up just to make sure.
I think so. I think
that
that's
it's
what
one
he
So it
said.
would be the
I think-
balance of this term, and then they would have to rerun.
Rerun.
They have to run.
Okay.
So it would be a 1-year term if that was the case.
Not less than
It
a
would be
year.
less than a year,
Less
from
than a
now
year.
till November,
Yes.
December. 'Cause the board is in January.
That's all the correspondence I have at this time. So at this time, we're open for public comments on agenda items only. Any members of the public have any questions on agenda items at this time? Thank you. Mrs. Wilson, for saying that. Okay, Dr. McCarron, do you want to go over anything else publicly? I know you've been busy with the budget stuff. Anything else you want to mention?
So budget, we're in the middle of finalizing all audits. On top of that, we've also received another audit from the Food Service Authority in regards to procurement. So we've been audited out this year, so we're handling all that and finalizing all those pieces. Testing is in full swing right now, so we're finalizing all preparations for PARK. We still have New Jersey Basic Science in grades 4 to 8 coming up. I've been working with Gladys on special education testing as well, making sure all modifications are in place. And we're also in round 3 of observations that we are finalizing for all staff members across the district. One thing I did mention is that the state made that change, where it's only mandated for 2 observations. We're gonna be still doing 3 this year as well, and we're following through with what we've already set up. As far as business office also, Mr. Iannucci's evaluation, each of you have received a packet where we're asking that you complete the evaluation by May 19th online through New Jersey School Boards. There's a half sheet with directions on front. There's also sheets attached that show you the different areas that have been addressed as the evaluation based on the goals that the district has come up with. That's all I have.
That's a beautiful handout, Dr. McCarron, in the midst of your budget.
Thank you, Dr. McCarron. Mr. Iannucci, do you
In
have
color.
anything you would
I
like
do
to
actually.
speak publicly
I
about?
do, and you know me, I will not take long. I understand.
You're not as fast as Dr.
I
McCarron.
am not. Let's go over, before I do a quick recap on Sustainable Schools, we'll go over district enrollment, still steady 870 students. Summer program, registration for the summer program is ongoing. We'll also be putting some hiring for the summer staff, probably coming up in May. It's all based on needs, how many students we have based on what it's gonna look like. I did send you an email, I believe, last week regarding the specialized camps that we're gonna be doing. That information is posted on the website. and the sports camp directors, we're calling them, they have already been secured. We have some from, some local, some of our staff members that are coaches, as well as some of the coaches up at the high school that are working on this. So we're excited about that. Kindergarten orientations come up at the end of May. All that information's been put out. Dr. Karen said Mark has been going on. Just a couple things coming up. I know we have basket auction coming up. I know we'll talk about that. You have nothing to say about that, Mr. Marker? Okay.
It's this Friday and it's a big fundraiser.
Make sure you get your tickets. Also, if you ever want to go see kids compete with other school districts, if you ever go to a battle books competition, I invite you to go to them. I'll get you the dates. I know they're posting everything, but they're a very fun activity. The local schools and kids do a great job. And also the baseball and softball teams didn't play today, but they are also in full swing. Mr. Buckheim had asked, one of our district goals was discussing becoming a green school district over the next, I believe we said 5 years or is that long?
It's a 5-year plan.
Yes, but we're hoping to
Push it.
speed that up a little bit.
Yeah.
So I just want to give a quick update on what's been done so far for the district. I hope this works, Dr. McCarron. And it's a 12-slide presentation, and my 6-year-old up with the clipboard, so bear with me.
I love it.
So the goal is to support policy and programs to promote a sustainable school district. I cannot say that word very fast. So bear with me. All right, the objective is to implement the necessary steps in becoming a state-certified sustainable school district in the near future. I think 5 years, I like near future. 5 years seems like a very long time.
Great.
From my back anyway. All right, so back in November, the board approved a resolution to participate in the Sustainable Jersey Certification Program. After that was done, a green team was established. Okay? The green team was made up of teaching staff, administrators, Board of Education members. I know Patty and Chaz are our 2 representatives, administrators, and even our maintenance staff is pitched in because there's also a key component of this. Right? Each level of the certification requires the creation of this green team. Certification overview. We're shooting for there's 2 certifications you can get, bronze and silver. Okay? Obviously bronze not being as complex as the silver. I don't know what feedback we've gotten so far, Dr. McCarron.
We're very close to bronze in all 3 buildings.
We're shooting for silver, but first we have to get bronze, and we're very close. All right. In January, I actually went to a workshop in December, I believe, the month before you guys went, and I was kind of blown away with all the information because it was like an 8-hour presentation, and they all had teams.
Wow.
And it was me and like the curriculum supervisor from Belmar just sitting there getting bombarded with all this stuff. But later on in January, with Mr. Peely and the green team members, Mr. Buckheim, and Mr. Dare also went up, and they attended this one-day information session to check it for priority actions, right? That's what they call them, which is a checklist. I don't think I have it written down. I believe it's 895 total actions they went through. They didn't go through all 890. It felt like they went through all 890. Because there's 17 different categories.
For silver?
There's 17 different categories you're looking to go over. Right? The application cycle, we submitted our first application in January for the approval. In February, it was reviewed by the Sustainable Schools
Teachers did.
Yeah, whatever they call that. They send back revisions you need to do, any updated information, any additional documents that they request for you. And then just April 10th, I believe, we submitted the second round for submission, and we'll hear about the results back from that in mid-May. Okay. June 29th is the final submission for the 3rd round, for the final application, and we should hopefully hear, maybe in time for our board meeting in August, whether or not we've been accepted as a sustainable school, which I think we're on the right track. And anybody, Mr. Peely, Mrs. Dare, Mr. Buckheim, anybody else who wants to add anything, please? Again, I'm trying to keep this quick, but.
Patty, you missed it. One of the presentations was they were being green for the science fair.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Just
I think they're doing, all 3 schools are doing a wonderful job.
Absolutely.
Getting everything together, and they're really excited about it, so I think it's a wonderful thing. Thank you.
And it's
I
carried
know when
out.
we were at the workshop, the teachers that are on this committee are just extremely excited, and I could just tell by the looks on their faces and the comments they made that they fully believe in this movement that we have going.
Right.
And it's going to save money to be able to put money somewhere else to
There's
help our
also
children.
grants, but there's grants that
There's
are
also
also
grants,
only, yes,
absolutely.
that are only offered to schools
State
that
schools.
yes, yes.
That's right.
All right, so the priority actions we talked about a little bit earlier. What are they? Building efficiency measures, that's where Frank kind of comes in, where he has these people with the, you know, the LED lighting and the controls for your boilers and your heating system, to make things more energy efficient. Utility controls are important things, so that's obviously computer-based. I know you're trying to go it that way, it's controlled by a computer. Any type of appliances or machine, appliances we're using for the kitchens or anything, all energy efficient. That all comes under that building efficiency measure. Professional development for sustainability, not only for staff, but for students, and you can see some of those students tonight, some of the staff members as well, working on that science fair project. I showed a couple of pictures from later on. That the seedling things, I know you and I were talking with Mrs. Farrell earlier, her sons are part of a program where they recycled the toilet paper holders for their seeds, and then one day, right before break, the second graders from Downey and Bingham came over, and we've extended the garden in the courtyard at Volts, and they helped plant those seeds. That was part of the project. So, not really sure what they're growing. It's vegetables or flowers.
Last year they had a salad
Still-
party at the
still
end of the
waiting.
year,
Salad
where they were
party,
able
yes.
to get the cucumbers, tomatoes, and lettuce.
I can't wait to see the
And
pictures of
actually-
Mr. Eugene.
I just, as long as the lettuce is properly washed, I don't like the sand. I just don't like it gritty, it's all cleaned up. Community education.
Maybe you were hiring a behavioral what?
Do some observations.
Might
Just
stop
sure.
me in 3 times a week.
It's got that food, you know?
Student focused.
Community education outreach water program, waste energy audits, we're still waiting for the energy audit to come out. Waste audit, we've always kind of done those with we did one before with waste management. And then student learning, I kind of put on the next slide. Sorry for the small picture. Obviously, Go Green Month was in March. All grade levels implemented some type of lessons into educating their students. But we also, part of the Sustainable Schools, it's not just like, you know, turn the lights off and unplug the computer. There's also a health component involved. So I know you've seen some of the pictures we posted on the website. You know, our new physical education teacher has been working with the kids in the after school. And there's also other teachers at Bingham and Downey this year. We have some after school clubs, fitness club. I know Mr. Peely's kids are excited to do that every other Tuesday. But Mr. G's also worked with staff members, promoting a healthier lifestyle and working on some of those things as well. Paperless correspondence, we demonstrated Class Dojo last year through the website, social media, and then other things through Blackboard Connect to conserve paper. Ms. Shriver's done a nice job extending that school Volts Garden. And then there's also creation of a virtual Green Fair website to promote some of those students' projects and what they're working on. And I know Ms. Adair and Mr. Peely have collaborated on the plastic bag recycling project
Oh, yeah.
for the
Bench.
Trex bench. Okay, that will hopefully. What do we
She
need,
has enough
60,000
bags.
pounds of
No,
plastic bags?
we
She's
need-
almost there.
Need 500 pounds, and I haven't collected any, so I'm sure Steve's got a lot going on over there.
Are they still in the garage?
No,
Well, no, visit there, pick them up, load their car, we're at their weighing with a
Yeah,
official count.
But so far, the first 2 months, we've had 135 pounds.
Cool.
So we still got 4 months to go, so I'm sure we'll hit the 500 pounds.
Sure,
So-
Mr. Peely
She
also
can't
has
drive
bags for
safely
me.
because she's got
We're
bags
fucking
back.
sorry.
Regardless of how 500 pounds, Exactly.
Exactly. So it's going well, and I do see a lot of kids bring that stuff. All right. You'll see in various, this is actually still.
Excuse me, can I take your bag?
Just yes, thank you for sending me this, but I did print it out, so it's not that green. The green classroom checklist is posted throughout classrooms and hallways throughout the district. I know this in some classrooms, especially elementary school level, they have green jobs for the kids now.
You could have done that in a smaller font and had it on
Where
head
you,
sheets.
probably.
I learned
You just have
that
the line leader
The
and things
energy
like
we're
that.
saving them.
Paper pass, or now the green person who checks to make sure when they leave the classroom.
That's awesome.
The thing is, you can kind of see what they're, lights out, the smart board, everything unplugged.
Kids to work.
So they do a nice job.
So I
Mr.
just-
Buckheim was giving me some information regarding what you can save in your energy bill just by unplugging.
You could reduce your electric bill in your home by 15% by unplugging appliances that aren't used daily. You leave your toaster plugged in, you leave your coffee maker plugged in, you leave your charge cords for cell phones plugged in, any of that stuff, lamps, floor lamps, Whether they're turned on or not, they're pulling current, they're using up electricity, you're being billed for that. We want this sustainability to carry over into the homes, not just to happen in the school.
Exactly. And then our green team members, Mr. Philly, for teacher-wise, it's Schreiber, Mr. Michelle,
Terrera.
Mrs. Terrera, are three very active teachers. One representative for all three buildings. They met, I know, right before break as well. And they use our conference room down there, and they're always looking for creative. And they're also turnkeying a lot of information and getting other staff members to participate.
They've been doing a fantastic job, and I just wanted to add though, this grant is literally no joke though, in terms of the amount of points you need, which is why I think I started sweating when Mr. Iannucci said we were going for bronze this year, because I'll be thrilled once we hit silver, just because it's 150 for silver, it's 450 for bronze, so you're constantly adding things up.
It's 150 for bronze and 350 for silver.
You added
Oh,
the two,
I
I know what
flipped
you
them.
meant, yeah.
So, I mean,
Our skill fix was-
there's a lot of pieces to it, and I will say the teachers have been doing an amazing job of pulling those things together. The entire staff has been doing a fantastic job. A big part is maintenance, policies, things like that, and making sure we have all those components in place.
That's awesome.
Thank you,
So-
everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you for your efforts.
Any questions?
No, I just have a comment. When we did this at the high school, like to start doing this and to start making me like power down the 10 computers I had in my classroom and things, we had like this glue costume, and like Mother Earth would come around to check sometimes on Fridays. So like if you ever wanna, you have other, Mr. Peely, there's another, Mother Earth might, will have to come around and check.
You have it though?
Because, well, I can get it for you, because
This
this
is
is
very
what,
interesting.
they came to check on us, and I, like, in my head, I'd be like, Mother Earth, this could be a big thing, it's like all power down, all of my kids would literally come in and around 10:02 and say, like, Mother Earth's gonna know if you don't, and even at the high school level, we would all get up and start doing our part real quick as our exit slip, to make sure, especially, every night and on the weekends,
Right.
so.
That's awesome.
Yes.
I just want to add that my favorite part is the sensory garden. So my kids that have sensory issues, there's rocks, there's textures, there's lavender, there's chimes, there's water. So that's my favorite piece of the whole program.
See.
And all the teachers have been donating things to add to the garden.
That's awesome.
It's been definitely a worthwhile endeavor. We're on the right track, Mr. Buckeye.
And Pat really initiated it, and I just jumped on board.
Well, once you get silver and you have the children
Gold.
here all summer long,
Gold.
then you could just take one of the fields and turn it into a garden to feed everybody. Just saying.
It's all steps, baby steps.
All right,
you know.
just letting you know.
I'll send all of the parents who complain about the sports to you.
Tomato and cucumber salads for everyone.
No, we'll just give them shovels, it saves energy.
But just to add, the borough is also Sustainable Jersey, so we are bronze, working on silver as well. So hopefully eventually, and I run that program too. So hopefully we can all work together and get the whole borough into the same boat.
First off, I want to thank, for taking the time out of that and listening. I also want to thank Ms. Wilson and Mr. Hines for helping us create these plaques that we're about to present to some very special members.
So we wanted to have like something tangible for our board members who do so much training outside of the norm. So I'll go first, ladies first. The Runnymede Public School District Certificate of Recognition is awarded to Ms. Naomi Davidson in recognition of earning sufficient credits under the New Jersey School Boards Association Board Member Academy Program to receive a Certified Board Leader Award. She has satisfied all criteria, including earning a minimum of 60 credits through attendance at Academy programs, the NJSBA Annual Workshop, and a variety of county programs. We applaud her for caring enough about the Runnymede School District to make the effort on her own time to improve her skills and knowledge in this most important position. So congratulations. Mrs. Wilson and I were talking earlier, we said maybe one day we'll be like you and be able to do this.
Maybe one day.
All right. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And I'd like to present this Runnymede Public School District Certificate of Recognition awarded to Charles Buckheim in recognition of earning sufficient credits on the New Jersey School Boards Association Board Member Academy Program to receive a Master Board Member Award. He has satisfied all criteria, including earning a minimum of 40 credits for attendance at Academy programs, the NJSBA Annual Workshop, and a variety of county programs. We applaud him for caring enough about the Runnymede School District to make the effort on his own time to improve his skills and knowledge in this most important position.
Maybe at the end you can get Naomi and Chaz
Yeah.
together.
Great.
So you
Just do it now.
Bring your-
Might as well.
Keep beating
Yeah, you should probably be
Yeah,
on
You
the
should be in it,
I
Mr.
run
Ryan.
every picture I've been.
Oh my gosh.
Pictures, lettuce.
Big school radio, right? Right? That what you told me about?
He said he's gonna.
Stay there, guys.
Remember when I said the one picture when James wrong myself on that?
Congratulations again, thank you for your time. Moving along, we have the principals' reports, nurses, building and grounds, and special education reports. We're all sent out. Does anybody have any questions there?
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
On the principal's report for the fire and security drills, I noticed Downing's active shooter was a little higher than other schools. Is there reasons why it takes longer for Downing than the other schools? Is it just the way it's set up, or?
No, I mean, quite honestly, we practice and we're not always perfect with our drills, so we do not stop a drill until I know that every student is accounted for. And there is like a human error factor to it, where, you know, there could be a student in the nurse's office that we know is fine, but we're waiting to make sure that every single student is accounted for. So it's just, that's why we practice every month, so that we just keep getting better. But it is just instances like that that we just want to kind of strive to improve month after month.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, other reports, just again to reiterate what Mr. Iannucci mentioned earlier, the basket auction is Friday evening. If you have nothing to do, thank you to all the board members who donated so we can, as a board, offer one of the big ticket items. I appreciate you donating, and so does the PTA. Again, like I reminded you earlier, the majority of the money raised tonight goes towards paying for school trips for our students, so it's important that we give them the support that they need. You want to go over some of the other reports there? This is all right.
I've given out to all the board members the notes from the Camden County Educational Services Commission from the April 5th meeting. Our next meeting is May 3rd. And the Runnymede Planning and Zoning Board meeting. One thing I wanted to point out about at that zoning board meeting, so it was quite interesting. Mayor Kapadas, who sits on the zoning board, stated that at the previous mayor and council meeting in Runnymede, they approved to hire a firm to do a study on the redevelopment of the Black Horse Pike to try to bring business into our community. I did speak about that when he mentioned it, because he was talking about restaurants and retail stores. And so at one point they asked if anyone in public had something to mention. That's when I got up and I stated the following, that I think it's a wonderful idea except for retail. And the reason why I stated that is if you read any of the research that's out there, especially with the millennials, my children's age, people in their 30s and 20s, 85% or more of what they purchase, they do it online, use the internet, they don't shop. They may go to the mall periodically, but other than that. So the suggestion I made to the mayor and the zoning board was, I'm sure with this redevelopment team, everyone's gonna do their homework. I think maybe the restaurant ideas sounds good, but it would have to be unique retail that you're definitely gonna have people come out. Otherwise, I think those stores won't stay in business very long. The report that I read just 2 weeks ago also said that within the next 10 to 15 years, 90% of all Americans will do all their shopping online, excluding, well, even food. I mean, you can pick up the telephone or your computer and connect with ShopRite and give them your grocery list and they deliver it to your house. So That's just something they're going to research and look into to try and make our downtown look more like maybe a Collingswood downtown, something to that effect. So it was an interesting meeting.
Chaz, and correct me if I'm wrong, Dan, at the council meeting, I believe someone stood up and asked how long this would take, and he said they hope to have it done by May. In
Yeah.
terms of the study,
Yeah,
and then, just so you know.
okay. That, no date was mentioned there.
Yeah, somebody actually stood up and asked it.
New Jersey School Board Association, we will be meeting in May. I haven't gotten the packet yet, so I don't know if there have been any resolutions submitted to New Jersey School Board Association. So what I will do, that meeting, I believe, is before our next board meeting. So when I get that information, I'll send out an email to all the board members as to what, if any, resolutions are going to be addressed. Usually we have it by now. We usually get it about 6 weeks before. It has not come in yet, so I will keep you posted on that. And last comment I just want to make is I want to just compliment, as best I can, Mr. Silva. Not only him, but all the staff members in our school district that got involved in the reality fair. This is a remarkable program that brings the 8th grade class. They have like an hour-and-a-half session, and they break them down into groups of about 20 students. And they are given a job that they have, what their salary will be after taxes, and then they give them a checklist of things. Some of them are required, like utilities bills, a rent bill, a car payment, food, clothing, and then below that is a list of things that you may want to do. Be in a health club, go to the beauty salon, cable, etc. And these young men and young women had a reality check and went from station to station talking to different people and trying to put together a budget that they could also maybe save something. And I had the opportunity, Mr. Silva invited me, I came in and I was one of the financial consultants. After they did all what they wanted to spend, hey, let's take a real look at what you have here and what can you save. Because I tried to recommend talking to the gentleman next to me, who I found out was also a substitute teacher here. He is a financial expert, and they like to see you save 5 to 10% of your pay every month. I always was pushing 10% when I talked to the kids. But it was remarkable how serious these kids took it, and what an eye-opener. I can tell you, when I was in middle school, no one ever talked to me about a budget. When I was in high school, no one ever talked to me about a budget. When I was in college, nobody ever talked to me about a budget. I got married, I had to figure things out on my own, and boy, it took time. So this is a wonderful activity. I want to say kudos to you, sir, and to all of the staff members that participated in helping pull this together and make it a really great event for the kids. All right, fantastic.
Negotiations, Amy?
Nothing yet for RAA, we are still in negotiations.
Progress. At this time, we are going to move into executive session before we move on with the rest of the meeting. However, just so you know, it's not, correct me if I'm wrong, but nothing's going to come out of this. We just need to have a private discussion. So there's going to be nothing added to the agenda. However, I do need a motion to go into executive session.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Patty, seconded by Chaz. All in favor? All ayes have it. All right. Whereas, while the Senator Byron and Mayor Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-12, requires all meetings of the Runnymede School District Board of Education to be held in public, NJSA 10:4-12B sets forth 9 types of matters that may lawfully be discussed in executive session without the public being permitted to attend. And whereas the Runnymede Public School District Board of Education has deemed it necessary to go into closed session to discuss certain matters which are exempted from the public, and whereas the 9 exemptions to public meetings set forth in NJSA 10:4-12B are listed below, and next to each, exception, is a box within which number of the issues to be privately discussed that fall within that exception shall be written, and after each exception is a space for additional information that will disclose as much information about the decision as possible without undermining the purpose of the exemption shall be written. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Runnymede Public School District Board of Education will go into closed session for the following reasons as outlined in NJSA 4-12B. Any matter, the disclosure of which constitutes an unwarranted invasion of individual privacy, such as any records, data, reports, recommendations, or other personal material of any educational, training, social service, medical, health, custodial, child protection, rehabilitation, legal defense, welfare, housing, relocation, insurance, and similar program or institution operated by a public body pertaining to any specific individual admitted to or served by such institution or program, including but not limited to information relative to the individual's personal and family circumstances, any material pertaining to admission, discharge, treatment, progress, or condition of any individual, unless the individual concerned, or in the case of a minor or incompetent, his guardian, shall request in writing that the same be disclosed publicly, more specifically a student matter. And also, any matter involving the employment, appointment, termination of employment, terms and conditions of employment, evaluation of performance, promotion, or disciplining of any specific prospective public officer or employee or current public officer or employee, employed or appointed by the public body unless all individual employees or appointees whose rights could be adversely affected request in writing that such matter or matters be discussed at a public meeting, more specifically the 7-18 school year renewals. Whereas the length of the executive session is undetermined, however, the Runnymede Public School District Board of Education will make every attempt to estimate the time session prior to convening the session, after which the public meeting shall reconvene in about 30 minutes, and the Runnymede Public School District Board of Education will proceed with its business. Now therefore be it resolved that the Runnymede Public School District Board of Education will go into executive sessions for only the above stated reasons, and be it further resolved that the Runnymede Public School District Board of Education hereby declares that its discussion of the aforementioned subject may be made public at a time when the Runnymede Public School District Board of Education attorney advises that the disclosure of the discussion will not detrimentally affect any right, interest, or duty of the school district or any other entity with respect to said discussion. Be it further resolved that the Runnymede Public School District Board of Education, for the aforementioned reason, hereby declares that the public is excluded from this portion of the meeting during which the above discussion shall take place, and hereby directs the board secretary to take the appropriate action to effectuate the terms of this resolution. Be it further resolved that the board secretary on the next business day following this meeting shall furnish a copy of this resolution to any member of the public who requests one at the fees allowed by NJSA 47:1A-1. Action on any item will not be taken in open session at the conclusion of this executive session. So at this time, I need the public to remove themselves. Yes. Yeah, that's the one all one. Beginning of school.
Actually, at the beginning of the school year, you get that.
Yeah, you get
It's not from us though,
It's the school district.
okay, I'm just making sure. It says your child may.
It's an open public meeting, he's allowed to do that. Yeah, if they didn't want to be on camera, they.
I think when in school, so in school, it was recommended we do the backwards, where we actually let parents write in letters saying if they don't want their child to be, otherwise.
To me, anyway.
Everybody's so excited when they're, you know, excited.
The science projects were great.
They were awesome.
super excited to do the project.
They were incredible.
I was laughing for one plant project, it was getting too big for the box, because it had been a period of time, and I'm like, it needs a bigger box, because it's getting so huge.
Come on back. Oh,
You're good.
I'm trying to throw my green because I didn't set more.
How do you want? She brought like a pink, did you see that big pink
Yes.
picture?
All right, we're gonna go on to new business so we can hopefully get out of here at a reasonable time. Under property and transportation, I need a motion to approve items number 1 and 2.
I'd like to make a motion.
Motion.
Items 1 and 2.
Motion made by Naomi,
I'll second it.
seconded by Angel. Any questions? Roll call.
Ms. Adair,
Yes.
Ms. Beebe,
Yes.
Mr. Buckeye,
Yes.
Ms. Davidson,
Yes.
Ms. Farry,
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella,
Yes.
Ms. Spalding.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Under personnel, I need a motion to approve items number 1 through 7.
I make that motion.
Motion made by Chaz, seconded by Naomi. Any questions? Roll call.
Ms. Adair,
Yes.
Ms. Beebe,
Yes.
Mr. Buckeye,
Yes.
Ms. Davidson,
Yes.
Ms. Farry,
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella,
Yes.
Ms. Spalding.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Under finance, we need a motion to approve items numbers 1 through, 7.
I make a motion to approve items number 1 through 7 under finance.
Motion made by Maria,
Second.
seconded by Angel. Roll call. Any questions there? Sorry.
I just have a comment. For property and transportation, under 1, my speaker, my team, they're just trying to charge me $500 where I can get it for free. So
Ah.
my team.
Yeah.
Work that budget, Finance.
I got
You gotta save money.
He has money, but don't let him fool you.
it.
Roll-
Small thing.
Yes.
Ms. Adair,
Yes.
Ms. Beebe,
Yes.
Mr. Buckon,
Yeah.
Ms. Davidson,
Yes.
Ms. Barry,
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella,
Yes.
Ms. Spalding.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Under curriculum, I need a motion to approve items number 1 through 3.
Make a motion.
Second.
Motion made by Amy, seconded by Maria. They're self-explanatory. Roll call.
Ms. Adair,
Yes.
Ms. Beebe,
Yes.
Mr. Buckon,
Yes.
Ms. Davidson,
Yes.
Ms. Barry,
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella,
Yes.
Ms. Spalding.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Under policies and public relations, I added number 6 to accept the resignation of board member Joseph Impagliazzo. So we need a motion to approve items numbers 1 through 6.
I make a motion to approve items 1 through 6 under policies and public relations.
I'll second.
Motion made by Maria, seconded by Patty.
Question.
Any?
Ms. Adair,
Yes.
Ms. Beebe,
Yes.
Mr. Buckon,
Yes.
Ms. Davidson,
Yes.
Ms. Barry,
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella,
Yes.
Ms. Spalding.
Yes.
Motion passes.
At this time, we are open for public comment. It does not have to be on agenda items. Does anybody have any public comments? Yes, Mrs. Wilson.
Just, it was brought to my attention the last meeting we discussed, about maybe changing the policy for interscholastic sports again. I have a concern with that. I have a concern that would be a big impact on the field hockey team. I spoke to some of the kids. My daughter, who was 42 years old, was brought over here as a 4th grader from Downing School by the field hockey coach. Those times, you could do that in your car. And our girls do not have an opportunity. All of my girls played from 4th grade on up. They didn't start, they didn't play in 4th grade, but they were trained in 4th grade. They learned the game, they learned all the background for the, I believe, Mr. Buckheim's daughter, and many of, maybe some of you sitting here. And I think that that's very, very important to our field hockey team. If we have to change a policy, maybe we should look at the coaches being able to not have to take the kids, because you have the other sports where so many. Is there a number of kids on a team that the coach has to say, only this many kids make the team? I have a grandson, when I tell you, he's an excellent, excellent baseball player, travels all over. He did not make his baseball team in 6th grade because they only took 7th and 8th graders. Their policy says they could take whoever, but he didn't make the team. Is that a concern because maybe of his age and they thought, or for whatever reason, I don't know. But he didn't go home to his parents, and he didn't cry to his parents, and he didn't say, I didn't make the team, and then the parents are calling the school when everybody's going crazy. So we have to be strong as a school district to stick to what we want, have the coaches backed up, have the administrators backed up, and know that if someone comes to board members or to the superintendent or somewhere else, that we're going to follow the coach and believe that the coach is doing what's right. But to take that right away from those kids is wrong, because it will really, really hurt our field hockey team. And as a board member, I could have packed this room tonight, and I chose not to because I'm coming here first. Because I know you may not even be thinking of doing that and moving forward on it. But I just wanted to express my opinion as a mother, grandmother, school employee, someone who's watched this team come and go, watch our coaches, I've watched and seen all the changes in our sports. And sometimes I think that we need to be stronger in having, what are we doing? Do coaches on our soccer team take way too many kids because they're afraid to cut because of what the repercussions are, so they have them on there? Do we have a set amount of what they take? I don't know, because I don't look into that. I don't know where the problem is, and I don't know why you're thinking. But I know it's very, very important to the field hockey team for you not to do that, because we did even hurt them as fourth graders. Because my granddaughter who started as a fourth grader, when I talked to her about it, if any of you know her, she's very vocal and very public. She would have no problem coming here and laying it out with all the right reasons why it shouldn't be or what, you know. It's just a big important, we don't have feeder programs like Gloucester Township and Haddon Heights and Haddon Township over there in Stratford. Some of their teams, that's why they're better, because of the feeder programs that they have. We don't have them. You know, we have to get our girls out to go play with them in another feeder program, but then when they come back here, only maybe 2 of their teammates have went to that feeder program. So it's not like in those towns, they're all at the feeder program, and then they're going right to the schools for it. So this is our feeder program for our high school. And if you check out the high school, quite a few of our Runnymede girls are on their field hockey team. It's a big thing to them.
Thank you for your comment. It was not on, we did not move forward with that on
Right.
the agenda today. And the board member who asked me to bring it up is not present today. So I will make sure that we talk to her, and if she wants to bring it up at next meeting, we'll have to have another discussion
Well, I
about
didn't know
it.
that you were definitely moving.
But it won't, we didn't really decide yet. I promised her that I would bring it up because she brought it up to me in a committee meeting. So I just did my due diligence, and I know that some board members, quite a few board members agreed, but we have not taken like the proper steps to modify or change anything as of right. as
And
of
I don't
this
know policy-wise, you can pick a sport that you do it, because I know you have to be fair and equal. So your policy, that's what I.
Well, honestly, to mirror what you said, when I have talked to different people where people watch the video or know what's being stated here, it seems like the female sports in general would be detrimental to them, like cheerleading. Sometimes, if you know anything about cheerleading, the flyers are smaller and they're the younger girls. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's something that we would not take lightly, but I can tell you right now, it's not gonna be on our agenda again in May, because, again, that board member is not here,
Right.
so she would have to be present and bring it up again.
Can I make just a comment
Sure.
there? In the time that I've been on this Board of Ed, I cannot recall a single board member ever having a conversation with me, and vice versa be with them, that the coaches better not cut kids.
Oh, no, I wasn't.
That's never been stated, and that's a form of micromanagement, and that's not what a board does.
Right.
That's up to administration, how the sports teams are,
Yeah, and I
how
don't
many
know how
kids.
they run, why
Yeah.
they take more, they don't, what the reasoning is with the younger kids, why they have them. Because I never had anybody involved in any other sports but field hockey and basketball and cheerleading, because I have all girls. So, those are sports that I know.
But thank you for your comment. We'll definitely make sure that we take it into consideration if and when it's brought up again. But it will not be on the agenda. Any other public comments? No? All right, there is a typo. The next board meeting is not May 20th. It's May 30th.
You don't want to come Saturday?
The 2 and the 3, they're right next to each other.
Right.
It's
You made an error and it's public information now.
Oh my gosh,
May
it's the second
30th.
one.
Dan, write that down. I made an error.
Second
May
one.
30th. It's the Tuesday after Memorial Day. May 30th. Yes.
He doesn't.
At this time, if there's no more public comments, questions, issues, I need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Motion
I
made by
can't see it. I
Patty,
need glasses.
seconded by
Naomi.
Naomi. All in favor? Ayes have it. Meeting adjourned at 8:30.
37.
8. Fix your clocks.